Welcome to Movieland. Here are the top 17 new and best action movies of 2023 that you must watch before you die. A number of brand new movies will be available to stream in January as the new year gets underway. For all those wishing to renew their binge list, look no further. Don't forget to like the video because we put a lot of effort into finding the top 10 best films list 2023. Here is a list of top 17 movies releasing on Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, and more in 2023. For more best movie lists, be sure to subscribe to our Movieland channel. On position 1, Emancipation. New Emancipation by Will Smith in 2022 action film set in the United States. It's based on the actual account of a former slave named Gordon, whose naked back was photographed after being severely scourged by an overseer and disseminated throughout the world in 1863, providing evidence of the brutality of American slavery to the abolitionist cause. The story about a runaway slave forges through the swamps of Louisiana on a tortuous journey to escape plantation owners that nearly killed him. On position 2, IMDb Cooper. IMDb Cooper is an upcoming hijacker film based on a true story. The plot tells the story of hijacker D.B. Cooper, one of the great Pacific Northwest
there's just something
mysteries.
kind of badass about that.
When he got on a
On position 3, Christmas Bloody Christmas. Main roles are played by Riley Dandy and Sam Delick. Tory Toombs, owner of a flaming record store, only wants to get drunk and party on Christmas Eve until a robotic Santa Claus from an adjacent toy store goes berserk, complicating her plans. Against a backdrop of drugs, sex, metal, and violence, Santa Claus goes on a murderous rampage through the neon-drenched snowscape, driving Tori into a bloody struggle for survival. On position 4, Detective Knight, Redemption. What happens in the story while in New York City police custody? Detective James Knight is caught in the middle of a jailbreak orchestrated by the Christmas Bomber, a violent fanatic whose Santa Claus followers terrorize the city. The cold-eyed Knight shows pity to the righteous and delivers harsh punishment to the wicked in exchange for the restoration of his badge, which he needs to finish off the terrorists.
I have your daughter.
On position 5, As Good as Dead. New action film starring Michael Jai White and Tom Berenger, set in a Mexican border town when White plays a guy with a mystery history who travels there to start a new life. While he's there, he grudgingly becomes friends with a troubled local youngster who just lost his mother and is being recruited by the local street gang. Bryant is revealed to be more than just a man who left his family behind and came to Mexico in search of a simpler life. Bryant thinks he has escaped his troubled and violent background. When his past comes back to haunt him, he must fight to the death to redeem himself, save the kid, and reclaim his former life. 6th position, Violent Night. Violent Night, a black comic action picture starring David Harbour, comes out just in time for the holidays. On Christmas Eve, a band of professional mercenaries storms the estate of a rich family and holds everyone inside prisoner. A surprise adversary, however, is on the premises, and Santa Claus is about to prove that this Nick is no saint.
Time for some season's beatings.
Number 7, Avatar 2. The Way of Water, an expensive science fiction movie that will undoubtedly set a record for budget. This is the second movie in the Avatar franchise, following 2009's Avatar. Recounting the events, Jake Sully has made Pandora his home with his newfound family. When an old enemy reappears with the intention of finishing what he started, Jake must join forces with Neytiri and the Nausicaa military to save their home world. On number 8, Light Blue Eyes. The Pale Blue Eye, based on Louis Bayard's novel of the same name from 2003, is a forthcoming American Gothic horror mystery film. Christian Bale stars with Anderson, Lucy Boynton, Charlotte Gainsbourg, Toby Jones, and a slew of others. You can watch it on Netflix. The plot focuses on a detective who has seen a lot of the world is recruited to look into the murder of a West Point cadet. When he runs into trouble due to the cadet's unbreakable rule of silence, he recruits an unlikely source, the young man who would one day become known as Edgar Allan Poe.
We are closer. Only
9th position, Babylon. This film, set to release in the United States, is a period comedy drama epic. In this new film, Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie play key roles. Recounting the history of it's a story about the rise and fall of several people at an era of unrestrained extravagance and wickedness in early Hollywood, and it features enormous ambition and outrageous excess. On position 10, Shotgun Wedding. Shotgun Wedding, starring Jennifer Lopez, is an anticipated American romantic action comedy film on Prime Video. Starring Jennifer Lopez and Josh Duhamel. The narrative follows Darcy and Tom as they plan the dream vacation wedding and bring along their lovely but very opinionated families, only to have the entire party kidnapped hostage right as the pair starts to have second thoughts. If they don't murder one another first, the pair will have to work together to save their families.
Don't you let go!
Number 11, They Cloned Tyrone. The forthcoming American sci-fi comedy mystery film They Cloned Tyrone. It stars John Boyega, Teyonah Parris, Kiefer Sutherland, and Jamie Foxx. A release date for They Cloned Tyrone has been set by Netflix. Here's what happens next in the tale. In this pulp mystery caper, an odd string of occurrences puts an unlikable group on the trail of a sinister government plot.
Yo, that you, girl? Oh shit, that is you!
My bad.
Number 12, A Man Called Otto. This forthcoming comedy drama, A Man Called Otto, is the second film adaptation of Frederick Backman's 2012 novel, A Man Called Ove. The film stars Tom Hanks as the lead, Mariana Trevio, Rachel Keller, and Manuel Garcia Rulfo. Main story elements: when a vivacious young family moves in next door, the widower's life is turned upside down by an unexpected bond with them.
I have a cat.
Number 13, spoiler alert. The major part will be played by Jim Parsons, with Ben Aldridge and Sally Field. The story centers on the final 11 months of Manhattan photographer Kit Cowan's life, from the time he was told he had terminal cancer until the time he passed away. This time period is seen through the eyes of Michael Ozziello, who was Kit Cowan's partner for 14 years and eventually his spouse.
Beds are occupied.
Get my husband to bed!
Well, that was Oscar-worthy.
Work for Shirley MacLaine.
Number 14, Darby and the Dead. Darby and the Dead, starring Reel Downs, an American teen supernatural comedy. Then there's Darby Harper, who had a near-death experience as a youngster and now has the capacity to see ghosts. Also, in her leisure time, she has a company where she counsels local ghosts.
This is criminal bullying!
Number 15, I Wanna Dance with Somebody. The forthcoming musical biopic I Wanna Dance with Somebody is based on the life of the late American pop queen Whitney Houston. Lead actress Naomi Ackie is joined by Stanley Tucci, Ashton Sanders, Tamara Tooney, and Nafessa Williams. Recounting the events, this is a joyful, passionate, and devastating tribute to Whitney Houston, one of the finest female R&B pop performers of all time. Observing her rise to the top of the music industry. Number 16, Savage Salvation. American actor Robert De Niro stars in the forthcoming horror film Savage Salvation alongside Jack Houston, John Malkovich, Quavo, and Willa Fitzgerald. What happens next in the story? A man who lost his fiancée to opioids goes on a mission of vengeance against the drug dealers who supplied them.
God approves of what you've been doing.
Number 17, It's a Wonderful Binge. The story's focal point soon, there will be a day called the binge when indulging in alcoholic beverages and illegal narcotics will be strictly prohibited, despite the fact that this day will be celebrated annually. This year the day happened to miraculously land on Christmas. Experience a Christmas tale like no other, complete with drugs along with the enchanted tales, memorable tunes, and stunning stop-motion animation. Swarms of them.
We're coming, man. We're taking over.
Please let us know in the comments section below if there is a new movie that was released in 2023 that we have overlooked, and also let us know which of these top 17 new action, comedy, and adventure movies is your favorite.